was determined that for the majority of our group, that although it's called Front Row Dads, the number one area that needs to be worked on is the marriage in order to be a great dad. And I think that became obvious, that marriage was the primary vehicle. And I've asked that question a bunch of different times, a bunch of different ways to people about, hey, who's a priority, right? Your kids or your spouse? And I think the vast majority agree that spouse is most important, because when that's right, then your kids are right. And I think that when I think about the specific lessons, I'll give you a personal story. I'll open up a little bit and share with you that about a year and a half, 2 years ago, Tatiana and I, my wife of 10 years, we were in a really tough spot, and I didn't know if we were going to make it through. It was a big rough patch in our marriage, and I remember going on a deep dive for information about marriage. I just went all in. I read every book I could get my hands on. I talked to people. I interviewed folks. And there's a few key lessons that I walked away with from that experience. Number one is that I don't need my wife's permission or anybody's permission to treat them amazingly well. That one of the things that I had learned through that experience was that I was blaming my wife for a lot of things. Even though I am the type of person who understands the victim mentality, and I don't like to play that card in business or anywhere in life, I was blaming some stuff on my wife, right? I was saying, if she was only different, if she would only respond differently, if she would only show up in this way, things would be so much better. Why is she not more like that person's wife who does it this way, right? Or if she would talk to our kids more with this language, she wouldn't have that problem. I did a lot of finger pointing. And at the end of the day, I realized that all the growth in our marriage needed to come from me. And that when we had quantum leaps in our marriage, it wasn't because I fixed something in her. It was because I realized something about my own power that could be changed. So I wrote a big affirmation that I would read 2 and 3 times a day, that were all reminders about what marriage was really about. In fact, hold on. Let me see if I can, I'll even find a little bit of it for you, because I think there's some value in this. And every time I would get into a tough spot, I would pull this out and I would remind myself of what my marriage was all about, what I wanted it to be about. And these are all the lessons, Jake, that I was learning from all my interviews. So hang tight, let me find this. All right. Now, I'm not going to read the whole thing because it's really long, but let me give you like a little sample of what it was. And this first part, let me tee up that when I think it comes to marriage, I believe this comes down to you knowing who you are and what you want. Ryan also talked about that what the feminine energy really wants is somebody who's fully present and somebody that can create safety. And oftentimes in a marriage, that comes from your level of certainty, not from a place of dominance, but from a place of just true masculine power. And so when I started thinking about where I was falling short, one of them was, I said, if I got divorced, what would I do? I just played this out in my head. And I thought, if I got divorced, I would probably go to hit the gym a little more, right? I'd probably get some new clothes. I'd probably up my game a little bit. And if I started dating, I'd probably take somebody out on these amazing dates. Right? I would do these incredible things. And then I just had this realization, I'm like, why am I not doing that now for the person I care about the most? Why am I not hitting the gym? Why am I not getting some new clothes? Why am I not, right, trying to find that edge that I would find if I was trying to date somebody again? And that was a big one for me. So here's what I wrote. I know who I am, I know what I want, and I know what I'm willing to give. I see, hear, and feel within me, around me with total clarity. I take confident action in pursuit of love and peace. I'm always in control of my next move. Today I choose to completely accept and love Tatiana exactly as she is in every moment. I don't need her permission or participation to treat her with love and respect. At any moment I can choose to feel Tatiana while remaining free of her. I can be happy with or without her, and I choose to be happy with her. Today I choose to focus on my own journey of growth, not trying to control hers. She cannot make me mad. She can simply offer a magnifying glass into some part of my heart that needs to be healed or helped. In my day-to-day life, I get the chance to show our kids how to treat others, especially when somebody or something is challenging you. And that was one of the biggest things I realized, is that especially in a marriage, if something is challenging you, you have this opportunity to demonstrate in front of your kids how to deal with adversity or challenges or when you don't agree. More so than giving them a perfect model of like, hey, your mom and I agree on everything and everything's just perfect. That what I recognized was that it's actually the rub and the friction that causes all the energy around being able to actually teach my kids what really matters about relationships, which is how to, if there was one word, Jake, this whole thing came down to forgiveness. The one thing I've learned in all the conversations with all the interviews and all the guys, it's about letting go. And a lot of that when you're in control of so many things in your life on a day-to-day basis, and when you get home and you're not in control, right? That these are not your employees, right? And you're not the boss, right? There's a very different energy there. So this opportunity to let go and relinquish control and just lead powerfully in the ways that you can and let go of the rest and forgive and move on, how to recover quickly. These were the keys to a big marriage. And they're also the keys to dealing with our kids as well. We just start with our wives or our partners.
That's beautiful.